Good. We're all here. Hey
Good.
guys, I hope you hear me well, and glad to see you. It's been a long time, and hey everyone who are joining us. I think let's wait for I don't know 1 or 2 minutes, and then we will start. Today we're going to have, I think, a pretty decent discussion with a pretty decent guest. Natalia and Alex, you are well known people in the mobile apps industry, so super glad to have you here.
Thank you,
And
man. Thank you for calling us pretty decent. We will take it as a compliment.
that's a good start, huh?
Very nice, very nice. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's wait one more minute, and I think it will start. So briefly, about how the webinar is going to happen is that today we're going to use one wonderful service called Screen Design, and we are going to use it to get the random apps which we have randomly chosen before the meeting, and we're going to kind of like analyze how these apps are performing in terms of their onboarding and payroll. And the idea is to really discuss whether should the app owner, I don't know, let's try to tweak something, add something, or maybe it's already the best payroll or onboarding we've ever seen. So this is going to be a discussion where I think at the end there will be a couple of insights and advices generated for the listeners, so they can improve their own paywalls, their own onboardings, and get better metrics, better revenue, better conversions, and all this stuff. So that's the goal. Yeah, the app we have randomly chosen recently with you guys. The first one is Theo, app in a very, I think, high growing industry and sub industry, all the like affirmations and Bible stuff. So, uh, what do you think itself about such apps? Do you see usually them grow? Just because really I see so much of them recently in LinkedIn and even on different like services. What's your idea about this?
Yeah, I think Theo, first of all, they have really good branding, and I also saw them a lot across internet and also really nice user acquisition. Yeah, you're absolutely right. The whole niche, like the spiritual and also religious niches, they're really spiking recently, and the growth there is insane. But what is really interesting about this app specifically, that it's also for kids, and I think this is an untapped niche, and barely anyone doing anything there.
Yeah. And also, I see that their app release date is like roughly a year ago. So for 1 year, they got 80,000 per month and 150 installs per
At
month, which
least
is,
it's probably more
yeah,
than that. This is conservative, you know. They probably make more than 100.
that's crazy. That's crazy. What do you
Yeah.
think, Alex?
I think it looks beautiful. I love the design.
Cool.
I'm a sucker for good design that is a little bit unique. I'm not too much into copycats. And I also think I agree with her that this is a niche of a niche. It's they have winded the back with this religious trend that you see a lot on Instagram and TikTok, where people are trying to discover better psychological health and faith and standards of living by finding a faith and doing that with these kind of apps have has created a new niche that was unthinkable probably 5 or 10 years ago. And there are a
Yeah.
couple of players that are absolutely killing it.
Yeah.
And I also agree. I agree on the fact that this is a niche of a niche, so it makes it really interesting to have an angle and really crush it. It allows them
hmm
to.
hmm Yeah, totally agree. So what do you think? Let's kind of like review their onboarding, right? I think
Yes.
the approach we can use is to just comment on the go, if you have any ideas on that, because I've noticed that they have 26 steps, which is, let's say, a massive one. So I'm curious what they have inside. So I'm just gonna go like, give it a scroll, and you can stop me or like share your comments if you have any.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
I
also.
think. My personal preference and the thing that I advise to founders is if you want to say a lot of things, if you have a lot of content to share, it's better to split it on different screens because for my personal taste, I would say that the first two yellowish screens, they're kind of a bit cluttered and there is a lot of information to try to process there. So I would
Totally agree
suggest
with
to maybe,
Totally
yeah,
agree with
split it.
Natalia. Totally agree with Natalia there. I also think that over here the bring your family closer to God and our method is simply it might use some tests because it's I think too much text in those. I understand
Hmm
they're trying to only split it into two because they already have a very long onboarding
Yeah.
flow, but it's really worth testing and splitting it there if there is a better way to convey the same information because sometimes you can do it with an animation, for example, an image or a video,
hmm
something like that, not necessarily with text. Sometimes you can do it with text and simply sum it up basically.
hmm Yeah, I agree. But I'm also looking at the third step on the third screen, and I'm thinking that maybe it's too early, to grab the permissions over there,
Yeah,
just because you have not make a great connection yet with the user, right? So I think you want to like make a couple of more steps, maybe just to then ask for the tracking, the info about the user. So my idea here is to maybe postpone it a little bit to later. What do you think on the asking for the permission?
agreed, agreed.
I think
Cool.
honestly, this is a very good discussional point because I saw different approaches here, and sometimes putting ATT prompt on the very beginning right on the splash screen actually shows better results. So
hmm
I would
hmm
definitely challenge placing it on this screen,
hmm
but I don't see specifically anything bad about putting it in the very beginning also.
hmm hmm
Yeah,
That's cool.
sometimes it works only because people want to get it out of the way, and so they simply click allow in order to get the end of it. It's definitely something that might work for some app, for some others it might it might backfire. So
Yeah.
really worth
hmm
testing. But
hmm
I appreciate the counterintuitive point from Natalia.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. So I think yeah, these screens are okay, maybe good enough of information. And then there is the quiz starts. Uh pretty big quiz, let's say. So yeah, I don't know. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of quiz myself, but I know that they work really well. So I'm curious, what do you guys think about this amount of questions being asked in this topic? What's your opinion on that? How does it work?
In my practice, like casting long quizzes, definitely worth it. Regardless of the niche, of course, if you're doing
hmm
productivity and it's, I don't know, a scanner or something like this, it wouldn't work. But it does work really well for various niches, specifically for the self-improvement. And I think we can count this app as kind of a
hmm
self-improvement app. The
Sure.
only thing that I would suggest to do when you implement quizzes is to make the loop smaller. So the best practice is to ask a few questions that are somehow related to the same topic and then give the value. Either make some kind of conclusions based on the user's input, some kind of recommendation, some kind of assessment based on the data. That users provided. So give some kind of a value, then questions. Value questions. Here, I would say there is
Yeah, I love
quite
it.
a lot of questions going one by
hmm
one.
Really
hmm
love it. Really love it because yeah, it can get tiring, and so having this core
Yeah.
sort of movement where you ask and give, ask and give, ask and give can lead to tremendous benefits. Definitely worth
Uh-huh.
testing.
Yeah, I think over there they try to achieve
Yeah.
it by making a little pause, a little stop, and giving some
Good.
great, I don't know,
Brilliant.
idea right over there. But I really think that it can be done even like
Yeah,
better in
but
terms of conversion.
look at how unrelated it is to the first questions that the user answered.
Hmm
It's so
Yeah, I
unrelated.
think it's
So I
hard
think
coded. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and so definitely interesting. Exactly like you said, it's hard coded, but there is room for improvement if they make it variable. Actually,
hmm Yeah, yeah, I agree. I think the personalized onboarding is something that is going to explode in the nearest future because it really works super well usually. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's something that's a room for improvement, pretty big one.
yeah.
Wow, we're only on the half of it. Okay, let's go.
Mm.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, something good. I don't know whether it is really also being variable or the same. Pretty curious, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe over there, if you tell that you have a family, then you have a different answer. So probably this one is being changed, but that's my assumption over there. Okay. Wow. Okay. There is a nice hook, I think, for the push notifications because you've been asked about where when to like make a reminder for you. So this is pretty straightforward for me, and I think pretty inviting to allow them. What do you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's well placed. I agree.
Cool. Going further, a couple of questions. Okay, okay, okay. And wow, that's the goal commitment. Okay.
Yeah, and I really like actually how they implemented it here because usually when apps are implementing something like goals or streaks or something like this, it's kind of hard coded. It is the logic that we offer to users. But in this case, they put a little bit more effort and they personalize it for users. So when users actually choose what they're ready to commit for, regardless of what they're choosing they are more committed to actually reach the goal because this is the goal that they selected, not something that we
Hmm.
guided them towards. So I think in this case, this specific mechanic actually will have a positive impact or may have the positive impact on retention at the end.
Hmm. Yeah,
Agree. Totally agree. Natalia is very good.
Thank you.
and
Maybe
in the
Matt
be
also will say it at the end of the webinar.
in the beginning, I thought that that's the amount of days for the free trial you can choose, but that's something different over there.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, that's true actually. But the fact that the fact that you were unsure also should prompt them to improve their UX, because if you're not
Yeah.
sure, maybe 20% of their users are also unsure, so
Yeah.
it's not really good. But I agree on the mechanic. Other than that, this is not the mechanic is excellent, but maybe the headline or the UX
Hmm. Yeah,
is
yes. So
proper.
maybe it's my
Yeah.
deformation because I see, I don't know, hundreds of paywalls per day. But yeah, I got this idea immediately. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And regarding this one, I have a feeling that it's a little bit, not connected to the design of the previous one. So I'm just a little bit surprised with this one. So yeah,
Yeah, a
because
little jarring, yeah, a little
yeah,
jarring. Maybe an
yeah,
adaptive test.
yeah. Yeah. So they're having, yeah, and also a different design going in. Uh, okay. There's a process of kind of like personalization happening for
Mhm.
you. Okay. Let's say, yeah, this is the next step. Yeah, and then we have the paywall. That's pretty it. So we got there pretty fast. Uh, Interesting. So they're offering the trial option for the 1 month subscription type. And also there is a toggle, but toggle for a little different need about the reminder. So that's an interesting mechanic.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
it's
remind me
different.
for the trial ends. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and also that's the trial for a year, not for the months. So it's a decoy, based on what I
Yeah.
see on the bottom.
Yeah.
So what do you think about this paywall? It's I would say that this is not a very common mechanic right over there, how it looks like and how it operates. But I'm very curious to see the conversion rates over there because actually it's hard to kind of like skip it, right? Because you offered a free trial or a month for dollars. So I don't know, maybe I would even buy a month for dollars in this case. So I'm super curious, yeah, how the distribution between the products is that look like.
Interesting, but yeah, I think the cover image doesn't give me any value, doesn't give me any incentive to convert on the paywall, doesn't give me any social proof as well. I have not seen any social proof across the wall onboarding. Maybe this was just a test, but I would use that kind of real estate at the top in order to really, use some high conversion points.
Hmm.
Because right now I only see some images that they might come from a cartoon, but they don't really give me a reason why on the most important
Yeah,
thing, which is the paywall.
yeah. So I think a good
That's
thing.
true.
I think it's animated, which is pretty good. But yeah, I
Yeah.
agree that it's not personalized. Yeah.
It is not personalized, but it actually does one specific job. And I also assume it is animated and probably the
You can
closing
scroll
button
up.
is
You can
somewhere
scroll up.
there moving.
Let me do it over
We
there.
have the video, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the closing button is hidden somewhere. Yeah, you see,
Over
it's like
there.
tiny and barely
Yeah.
visible on top of this animation. So I think at
True.
least this,
It is
yeah,
animated, but it is animated in the like doesn't change much in my opinion, you know? Like okay, they tell you prayers and then you have this and that. Yeah, maybe. I think there is a lot of room for a very good animation designer to do a good job there or with the new AI tools.
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think also the copy uh
Yeah,
definitely can
design your
show.
trial. Yeah.
It's not really related in any way to the product, to the
Yeah.
goals or the value or anything. So it doesn't really match the idea, I think.
Yeah.
Uh, but
And
I do
also,
like the animation and the closing button.
yeah, and also I think maybe it's worth adding the advantages of what the subscription is going to give you, right? So it's not clear what is the difference. Why not go like with the free version? So I'll
Yeah,
find out about it only after clicking the closing button, right? So that's also, I think, an idea for an A/B test, right? Just to check whether is it
Absolutely.
going to be working. Yeah, and the last piece for me is
absolutely.
that they here telling that something is going to be personalized, but then the paywall is not kind of like personalized, let's be honest, right? So
Exactly.
that's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly.
And I think the personalization aspect of it also can be improved because there are only 2 points and they are kind of generic. And usually, when there is a personalization screen, there is some kind of,
Hmm. Hmm.
uh, more intriguing set of parameters.
Yeah, agree, agree. Uh, I think we did a great job over here. We got a couple of hypotheses of what can be tested. What do you think, guys? Should we proceed to the next step, or we want to talk more about this? I think since we
Um,
have like 20 minutes already passed, maybe we can jump to the next one to get more content.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
or we can
sure.
reply to the comments, or do we do it at the end?
Yeah, cool. Let's then jump to the next step. We've randomly chosen the Prove It supplement scanner. They also have a little more than a year after the app release, even more steps in onboarding. Okay, cool. And pretty the same amount of revenue on installs. So it's very interesting to analyze how they got this cool result. So let's uh, let's start over there. So, okay, the identification straight from the beginning. That's
Mm,
interesting, right?
interesting.
Yeah, straight away. Okay. There is some kind of like social proof, right, Alex? What you thought about? I think they started it straight from the beginning, with the downloads at least. Then the ATT, cool. And
I
then
love
there's,
the angle. I love the angle as well. It's very creative. It's very bold. You know, we help you navigate shit supplement claims, and
Yeah,
so it actually it actually cuts through in a way. It's immediately creates a very strong feeling in the user that this app might be helpful. It's really striking. So I love it. Word
yeah,
testing definitely like everything, but I love the angle.
yeah. I
agree.
think it's also a really good point for testing because as it's a supplement scanner app, the target audience actually might be all the older part of the range, so it actually might not really work for them.
Oh,
So this really worth testing, especially in a combination with the user acquisition test and creative test.
absolutely.
Hmm. Yeah, agree. So let's jump into the questions they're asking. So pretty, pretty common questions, would say.
Mhm.
I think more even for a
Yeah, one
little,
thing important about the how do you hear about us? I see it many times, and many
Yeah.
times they don't randomize. They don't randomize the source, and then everyone clicks on the first one, and then they think that TikTok is doing really well, and it's not. So you need to
Yeah, it's
randomize it
fun.
because otherwise it will be a disaster, and it will take you on the totally wrong on the totally
Yeah.
off-road. Yeah.
Yeah, because actually, I think these steps are mostly for like product research, right? Rather than
Yeah.
really giving a personalization for users. So
Yeah.
it's very important not to mess this
And
up, otherwise the data won't be consistent.
yeah, and I would also place it after like a value given screen, because you already
Hmm.
ask what's the gender, and it's already
Yeah,
just an ask, and then how do you hear about us? It's ask.
yeah.
I would try to
And-
place it when there is like some sort of wow, some sort of wow, some sort of aha moment. Then
mhm,
you have the
Uh,
power to ask, you have the leverage to ask. Otherwise, don't like that. Uh, you know, three questions in a row like that. I'm
mhm,
not sure it really yields the best results.
Yeah, I
mhm,
actually here I think I have an alternative opinion because from the product perspective and again the funnel optimization, it does make sense to put this specific question in the very beginning because if you would see that 90% of users who comes from Facebook actually dropped in the second question, you can optimize your user acquisition spend over different channels. So if we look at it from, a little bit higher level, then it actually makes sense. But for the product side, specifically, there is no user value in it. There is no any kind of benefits users are actually getting from this point. So yeah,
Yeah,
it
but
really
you can,
mhm,
depends on your goal, I would say.
yeah, but you can place it after the third screen. We help you navigate sheet supplement claims if you want to have it earlier, and that at least has thrown a punch at the user, and and they feel
Also
this.
true.
Yeah, and they, at least it's something. At least it's only a get started. It doesn't really require any energy from the user, so you can place it there and then follow up with the rest. Don't like that. I'm not really sure. Is the I do understand their urgency in knowing where whatever channel is working best. But yeah, put like that. At least intuitively for me. Maybe I'm wrong. I know. I don't know.
mhm, mhm.
Gives me some
Yeah.
skepticism.
Yeah. So let's see what happens. Yeah, Igor in the comments provides a great comment that user declines an ATT permission to avoid being tracked, and then he's being asked where they came from. Yeah.
True, but
True.
most of these people, yeah, I would say that only 10% or 20% of the people it's not to be tracked. Everyone else is just simply like random clicking in order to move forward with the app. But yeah,
Yeah, just any button.
it does have the point. Does have the point. That's why I was suggesting actually to put it before that prompt. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
It's always
now,
a balance at the end of the day, and you need to find the moments
yeah,
where you have
you
the
need to
leverage.
test.
When you
Yeah.
have the
Yeah.
leverage, then you can ask for some stuff, and that stuff is either gonna give you a notification or a tracking or a source, social media, social marketing source. Doing it without leverage, it's tricky because users might be pissed off. So try to create
Maybe.
the value and then try to extract a little bit, and then try to recreate the value and try to extract whatever kind of direction you want to take that.
Yeah. So yeah, let's jump into the next screen. So there we have the I don't know, let's say pretty good questionnaire about the user. What are they taking and how is it? There is a little
Mm.
pause, which is pretty good. I don't think it's
Yeah.
personalized, but it just like prepares you for the next loop
It
of
is.
questions.
It is not personalized, but I think this is actually a great option to implement a kind of a like fake value or fake personalization in a way. It is 100% hard coded and it doesn't really matter what you answer
Hmm.
on the previous steps, but you still have the value here regardless of your answers. And this is good. This is like a quite a universal way of, mix your endless list of questions with some really valuable information for the user.
Hmm. Yeah, true. Uh, so there is okay, we have multiple choice here, which is pretty interesting. So user has to think a little bit what they being asked and really and be careful there. And also, I'm curious about the other. If you click on the other, will there be any option to type in something, or it's just like other and that's it? I think the second one will be the true
Probably,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, okay, the concerns. Oh, there is some did you know stuff. What do you think about it? these three kind of like researches, the phrases from them.
I
I mean,
think, go please.
Uh-huh.
no, no, sorry, ladies first, of course, Natalia.
Uh, I really like when the apps, especially in health and fitness industry, do use some reference to the actual researchers or institutes. I think in this case, it doesn't really matter what exactly does it say, and most probably people wouldn't really try to read. But having Harvard Health Publishing logo on your screen adds you a lot of weight and build a lot of trust just because it is there.
Yeah, but actually, what I think is that this one can be personalized because right here I see what kind of supplements do you take, and somebody answered prebiotics, and there is a prebiotic fact. So if it's personalized, that's pretty cool, but I
Yeah.
just don't know for sure. Yeah. What do you think, Alex?
I think it would be also interesting to test this as a loader. Like while it loads, you have a progress
Hmm.
bar of like we are preparing the app for you, and instead of having the continue, 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 I do understand that the continue allows for the user to read completely what there is in the screen, but you could maybe catch two birds with one stone if you um, if you show the user that you're preparing the app for him with a loader, a progress bar, and at the same time, during it, you put the did you know couple of
Hmm.
paths that automatically move forward. And of course, if it's personalized, then it's three birds with one stone, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't like that you put the continue, continue, continue. Yes, I do understand why it does it. Also, why not having another institution as well? Researching for like another institution. Like over here, you have two Harvards and one CDC. I do understand that Harvard is a top tier,
Trustworthy one.
yeah,
Yeah.
a
Yes.
trustworthy one. But seeing it two times, like I think that there is value in having it like from three sources that are still high value, rather than having two that are the same. Um, yeah.
Hmm.
Also, it really
Hmm.
depends on who this app is targeting, because if it's targeting people who are, professional, who are in the know, then they have to be careful. My girlfriend is a biologist, and I already see that some sources are a little bit, wacky the way they are put. But if they put, if their target market is simply people who take supplements, and they don't have any sort of scientific background, then it can work really well.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, so we have the did you know facts, then couple of small questions with the same type of answers, which is I think may bore a little bit a user, but there
Yeah.
are just two of them, so that's pretty okay. One more, did you know? Maybe that's a little bit too much for me already. I don't know if there is like really three in a row, then maybe the first one is a little bit too
I
much.
agree. I would definitely test cutting out those two screens to the left. We have
Hmm.
never seen
Hmm.
results, and I would definitely test whatever results they put, because, in my opinion, they don't add too much compared to what it has been asked before already. And that
Hmm.
screen, I like
Yeah.
this thing with these visuals. Um, so,
Yeah.
But I think what is also important about this screen and the next, did you know, is that the previous one, they were focusing on actually building trust and they were using reference from the well-known brands to, yeah, make it stronger. But here, what they do, and it is very interesting, is they're focusing on the fears of the users and they're actually pushing it forward. Like, did you know 30% of supplements has evidence supporting their claims? It's like tiny bit of information. Through the fear here, they kind of increase the value of the product after they prove that the product is trustworthy. So I think this is actually a good hook. And in this onboarding, users are actually having fun, enjoying all sorts of emotional roller coasters at the same time.
Mm, yeah, but just for me, maybe it's a little bit too much in terms of the steps. That's my concern over there because we
no,
just
but Natalia,
passed.
I was enjoying this screen with the image as well, with the white green pills. But I
Yeah.
was referring to the two before, to the two
Hmm.
questions
Hmm. And what
before.
do you think about the idea of
My
making? Sorry, Alex, I think you're.
opinion, a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's you,
Yeah.
Alex. Yeah, a little
Am I
bit.
cutting
Yeah,
off?
but
Do you
now
hear
we
me?
can hear you. Yeah, uh, a little delay, but all good. And what do you think? Can this picks can be improved? Can they be like better, or is this kind of like fits into the colorway and all this stuff?
Absolutely, especially these days with the power that you have to create really
Hmm.
stunning
Yeah,
pictures.
yeah. I also have the feeling that there can be more experimentation, more, I don't know, something catching the eye, you know?
Absolutely.
Uh,
They can be a
yeah.
lot more daring because look, they are daring at the beginning with the headline, right? But
Hmm.
then they play like I do understand they push the fear, but on the imaging side they could push some videos, some animations with some like really bespoke images. These kind of images that I see right now in your screen, Max, to me they look
Hmm.
really stock. And whenever I see something that is stock these days, I do see a lot of room for improving
Yeah,
Hmm.
conversions.
that's true. And also, I think with the messaging, there is a little bit of the visual conflict because the messaging is more about the risks and, creating and pushing the fear forward, but the images itself, they're quite calm and generic. So,
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That creates a disconnect. That's true.
Yeah. So further we have, okay, pretty the same pattern, right? So a couple of questions with yes or no or maybe. Again, did you know? And then, yeah, then there is a calculating screen. So there is just like lots of questions being asked. That's really
mhm.
it. Okay. And what we see is that, okay, the results, the personalized results, and they are, as I understand, are like two steps, right? So you see that you take less than the average amount, and also you spend less because I think there was a zero chosen as an answer. Okay, so this kind of like a pretty great visualized personalization. So on these particular screens, it's not that seen, but I think that if you're in a moderate or a high, I would really think like, wow, okay, maybe I spend too much or maybe I take too much, right? So I like this idea
Yeah.
that you really can be placed somewhere.
I think
Yeah,
this
and I
is an
mean,
example of the personalization that actually, bites you back because,
Yeah.
yeah, they do use the actual information that users provided, but they don't really make it the information that they can use for sales.
true. On the other side, though, I'm thinking that a type of user who really spends $5 a month on supplement is a user who is very unlikely to convert, on an app like this. So
Yeah.
yes, it can't back, but I think that a user that spends so little on supplements is very unlikely to,
Hmm.
unless they want to change their consumption in the future. So if right now I'm
Yeah.
spending only $5, but right now I'm bulking up and I'm gonna start spending 50, then I might not convert, but I would be a perfect fit for the app. Uh,
A
yeah, so
cautious user. Yeah.
yeah.
I have an idea here, to make a personalized paywall based on what user have answered over there. If he said that he's spending five, then decrease the price for him. That like, okay, let's take it slow. And for example, they're spending lots of money on supplements already, then also charge them a lot, something like that. What do
Yeah,
you think?
or yeah, and very interesting could be also this. You're spending very little on supplements, then you can come back with like some research and say, look, there are some supplements these days like omega-3s that not
Yeah.
taking them is actually dangerous, like because everything in life is a risk in one way, like if you're taking them or not taking them. So there are supplements that these days, like I don't know, magnesium or omega-3s, that there is so much, or creatine, that there is so much strong evidence, and actually not taking it can actually backfire on the user himself. And so a good app here that wants to maximize health and revenue for itself should actually push for, you're not spending anything. Look, you're probably making a mistake because there are some backed supplements that you might enjoy.
Hmm.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
great.
yeah. Okay, so there is kind of a cool personalization. Then there is I think that's too early, in my opinion. But okay,
Uh,
the I think there is nothing to rate for yet.
yeah.
Maybe a little bit later. Uh,
Yeah, that would be on the opposite side of this opinion because I do see a lot of apps that actually benefit massively from showing
mm,
the rating prompts on the onboarding,
mm,
and it actually
wow.
work really well. I think in this specific case, the implementation is not ideal because the way you want it to be implemented in the onboarding is when you already showed some social proof with high
Hmm.
rating, user reviews, testimonials, whatever you have, and you're able to provide to users, and then ask users to give you more rating. And this is a perfect setup for this kind of hook. It will work well, most probably. But yeah, it should be tied to something, not just all of a sudden after we said that, yeah, you
Hmm.
didn't really spend anything. Now, cool, give us 5 stars. Doesn't really
Yeah,
motivate me.
agree. Yeah,
Yeah,
because I see some
this,
yeah, social proof in in the next step, so I think that's the best way to put it after that, you know.
yeah,
Yeah, because we have like a three, not three, six social proof options. And wow. Wow, I haven't seen that before. Look at that. That's pretty interesting. A sign box. What's your
yeah.
opinion on that? Looks I think it would work well on me because I really would be like, okay, that's some kind of a deal with this app.
Yeah, this is a quite popular mechanic also for health and fitness app and all kind of self-improvement, productivities, setting up goals and things like this. This is quite common that it also works really well because you don't just click continue, 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 whatever. It
Hmm.
actually makes you stop and cautiously do like even a tiny action that you kind of put efforts into. And if you didn't put any efforts before, this stuff specifically will make you more committed. This is like the basic human psychology. But I
Hmm.
think the issue that I see here is that there is nothing to commit. Commit to what exactly? Commit to me being healthier, or for me using the app, or for me scanning the supplements. There is
Hmm.
nothing to commit to. And I think this is a part that I kind of miss here.
Hmm. Yeah, I totally agree. Alex, what do you think on that? What do you think
Well,
about this
number one,
mechanic itself?
after seeing a bit of the onboarding flow, I see so many things that they can improve. This one is some sort of new mechanic that, in my opinion, is really interesting to test. I would argue that there is a lot of stuff to fix because testing this kind of fancy stuff. But once the screens that we have gone through show some strong results and they test and test and test and they don't see any marginal improvement that makes sense, that is worth their time, then coming up with this sort of new mechanics is a really, really interesting avenue of new growth.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm very curious to see what's going to happen next. Where are we going to see the paywall pretty soon or not? Uh, okay, so there is one more like little. I don't know. I think it's a long paywall, right? I bet.
Yeah, it looks like a long paywall, but where is the
Ooh.
price?
Wow, you need to do what? You need to scroll to the bottom and then click start scanning. Or you can, I think you can click anytime, but then it will be just pop up like this to choose your
Yeah.
plan. Okay. Um, wow. So I think we can discuss the pricing, but a little bit later. What do you think about the paywall itself? It's pretty big, let's be honest. Pretty a lot of information. I think it's like kind of jumping
Yeah.
on me.
I'm taking
I
a look.
personally
Uh,
think that the long paywalls are really good fit, especially for health and fitness apps, because there is a lot of space to talk to users and to use different visualization techniques. Some people are more rational, some people are more visual, some people want to see the list of features, some people want to see the testimonials, and the long payable format allows you actually to show it all. And in this case, yeah, you kind of have to scroll it to, tap the button. uh, that is, I would say, good, but the long paywalls is also always a risk because there is a
mhm.
lot of content and it might be overwhelming and overcomplicated. So if it's implemented well and your performance is good, awesome, but you really need to be cautious with it.
Yeah. I think the first thing that comes to my mind is that for sure these social proofs, we already have seen them with the same header, for example. So I think this can be like kind of like removed because we already seen that. But the other parts are really debatable. They can be just tested whether it's a good option or not because actually, yeah, there is a lot of info, right? And maybe it will look a little bit too small on the screen, right? Because even here I need to scroll a little bit to understand what's happening. So yeah, I think these particular things can be like tested, maybe either
Max,
removed, either.
I think it's really worth it to check it on video because on video
Yeah.
this long paywall really
Yeah, let's do
tells the
it.
story.
I think we see it over.
Yeah, it's over
Wow,
there.
wow. There is
Yeah,
a, even yeah, there is even how to call it an
The loading
animation.
animation.
you can
Yeah,
also
yeah, yeah.
enlarge it if you
Nice.
want on the top right.
Yeah, top right.
No, 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 left, left. Yeah,
Okay, this one. Okay. I hope I can close this afterwards.
yeah, yeah. Just ask and or click on.
Okay.
And if you see, they have the popping up model when they click start scanning, and
Mm-hmm.
and they push the lifetime right away. Uh,
Hmm.
Wow, there is a lot
they
of
have a bunch, yeah. They use
A
options.
lot
Yeah.
of options.
a lot of options, and I really like the money back guarantee made in America claim at the bottom of it. Look, I think that
Yeah.
the paywall is pretty strong. It's pretty interesting. I do understand that there are risks to it as far as being so long, but I also think that this sort of app is targeting, I don't know, people who are 50 plus. So
Mm-hmm.
sort of longer landing people, these kind of people have not yet destroyed their attention span with TikTok TikTok videos. So longer landing page inside the app might do the charm. I feel that look, this paywall compared to other places inside the onboarding flow is pretty well optimized. Yeah, I don't see too many things that are wrong with it.
But the
Yeah.
concern for me is that they're having two types of annual, and it's very hard to catch the difference. So I do see it now because it's kind of like a post, right? So there is going to be
Yeah, that's
ads,
true. That's true.
Hmm.
but
It's confusing. It's
actually
never good.
the
Yeah.
difference is 10,
Yeah.
10 cents, right? And I don't know, I think it's a little bit too much. And also this pricing in terms of like calculating it per week, this is kind of like sketchy for me, right? So it usually works, but
Yeah.
it's still very, like
Uh,
you gotta test it.
I
it's
agree.
it's I think the whole subscription section when they present the pricing is quite overcomplicated. I think if the long paywall itself doesn't really cause a lot of questions, for me at least. What I would definitely test in this case is setting up a kind of pre-selected plan first and show it somewhere in this long paywall. You already have like four scrolls for the paywall, so there is some space that you can use to actually put the plans during the paywall, maybe even multiple times, focusing on different kind of aspects of it. But when you have the paywall, then you tap the button, then you see the options, then you have to select it,
Mhm.
then you have to tap the button again. This is like way too overcomplicated, especially for the paywall when the payments should happen instantly, briefly, with zero
Yeah.
bothering and zero thinking. So this part is definitely the thing that I would suggest to
Yeah.
test.
It's like you're buying kind of like a gadget, right? When when you're really like making a signature, then you just choose from variety of options, right? So it's just a little bit overcomplicated, I think. And also, it's very curious for me the wording over there with the pay now, decide later. And I cannot understand. Is it going to be kind of like a trial for 30 days, the one they're talking here in the bottom, or
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
buy it and then you can cancel? So
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah. The button is wrong, man. I agree.
No, I think it's
Button
a
is
cool
weird.
button. Like it's a super cool web button. Like no one actually do this on mobile, say pay now, decide later. No one actually gives 30 days trial on mobile, but definitely might be working. Like it is a good setup for web. If they use web funnels, then awesome. And maybe they copied it completely from the web funnels, but it's definitely not the native standard mobile approach.
We now
Mhm.
decide later. I think they reference the fact that probably there is a money back guarantee, uh, but I would argue that there is better wording than that.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think. this warden is quite sketchy because there is no money back guarantee and technically it violates the guidelines.
Yeah, yeah, of course. I mean, yeah.
hmm Yeah, that's interesting. There's
I
like
mean, yeah, there is
a
money
lot of
back guarantee. If you
mechanics.
go through Apple and then you complain, then they will give you back the money. And this is in
No,
eBay,
there is no
then
guarantee.
no warranty, but okay, 90% of the time Apple gives you back the money. Um, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, and every
interesting.
app, and then every app has money back guarantee, but this is
Indeed.
only people in the
Yeah,
industry who know this. Basically, yeah. But
yeah, yeah.
sure.
So yeah, I think the idea from my side is just really not to maybe add something over there, but maybe really try to make the experiments with the removing some kind of like parts from the paywall itself and from this bottom sheet. So yeah, I think there is a lot of just A/B tests to be done just to get the perfect setup over there. Because even this sale, which pushes you that you have a sale, the wording over there, right? The like amount of plans, the quarterly one, that's interesting one, right? So yeah, I think there is a lot of things to like just to test it.
Yeah, it's a very e-com style, I'd say. And honestly, I never saw it implemented on the mobile before, so maybe it actually makes sense to try.
Yeah. What do you think, guys? We have 13 minutes left. Do we want to jump to the third app, or maybe we can have a little kind of a Q&A session? What's your opinion? Do we have enough resources to check the last one?
I'm good with
Uh,
both.
yeah,
Good. Okay, so I think we can just have a little, a better pace, a little faster pace. So here we have 17 steps. So I think we're good to
17
go.
stuff.
Yeah, just like rapid review. So I love the design straight from the beginning. That's what I want to say.
Yeah, and I love
Uh,
the concept also.
yeah, I remember
Thank
this app, the focus while you're flying. That's something crazy. I mean, I love
That's just,
flying, and yeah, and I think I need to try it myself.
on video even better. They have like splendid animation, really beautiful design.
Okay,
yeah,
let's
let's
check
watch
it.
the video.
Whoa.
Like,
Okay.
this is a super cool way to work with the, yeah, wording and the visual to represent your
Yeah,
idea.
that's
Agreed.
not AI for sure.
Agreed. Agreed.
Super nice.
Yeah. Wow.
And I like the lights.
It's kind of like
Like,
flighty design, right?
yeah,
You see
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Totally
yeah.
from flighty, but focused on focus. Yeah.
Okay. My favorite airports are here.
And like, I really like how they kind of wrap it up in onboarding dash gamification because you
Wow.
do know that it is super nice. You do know that it is focus and productivity app, but this whole thing, this, I don't know,
Yeah.
role play with the flights is super, super exciting.
Yeah. But let's be honest, it costs a lot because it really looks very good, this design,
And
right?
it's probably worth it. Like, yeah, look at the
Yeah.
numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they almost get 1 million of installs. Wow. Ah, okay, so yeah, the idea is that they are accessing the screen time and they kind of
Hmm.
like yeah, give you not the idea of not using the other apps. And the interesting part, by the way, just I'm gonna pause a little bit over there, that they are offering a skip option. That's interesting. So you can just kind of like skip this part, which
Interesting.
is yeah, which is something rare, I think. Okay, let's continue. Okay, wow, that's an interesting permission to ask.
I love all this animation. It's super nice.
Yeah. hmm
It's also really cheap, like $20 a year.
Really? Wow. Maybe I
Really?
need to get one.
Yeah. You see,
Uh,
even,
yeah.
Like,
even yeah.
Wow. Super
I
cool.
mean, they have such a nice design that probably, they get amazing word of mouth.
hmm.
So
Yeah,
oftentimes it is worth investing in these things because at the end of the day, from one customer, one customer brings five or 10. And so at the end of the day, you make more money rather than
Yeah.
having little
True, true,
like
customers and
true.
trying
it
only
looks
copyright mechanics.
it looks really great. And when you like what you see, like you natively wanna, try it and pay
Hmm.
money because yeah, happy people
Yeah.
are willing to pay more. So making people happy actually worth it regardless of the tools and costs that's yeah
Yeah.
accompanied it.
I want to call it kind of like a premium, just because
Yeah.
it really looks very, I don't know, like I want to have it. So that's the idea I get when I see this. It's pretty
And
cool, really.
this is exactly the phrase that you want to hear when you're making a cool onboarding. This is the sign that they made really awesome onboarding because it feels premium and you want to buy it
Yeah,
Yeah,
right down
yeah.
there.
yeah.
And the lifetime for $33, I mean, it's sold. Yeah. I had almost 40 flights last year, so I think I need to get
Wow.
this for sure. Yeah.
Wow, man.
Cool. Okay, so I love the paywall. And it's interesting. I mean, I would suggest maybe in the beginning to offer a weekly option, but then I see the price for the monthly for $1, and I just start to think that maybe weekly is not needed here. But on the contrary, I just don't know the prices of the competitors because for me, first, I don't know what's inside of this app, right? But
Mhm.
maybe it can be a higher price over there. I mean, why not having a lifetime for 50, for example, right?
Like we're
Or
already excited about the design. It looks and feel premium, so definitely I would suggest to increase the prices here and see how it will work.
yeah. What do you think, Alex, about the pricing?
I
What's
think
your what?
I think
uh,
it is extremely low. It might be a point of optimum for them because people there is like it's low, so I recommend it to my friend, and it's a beautiful design, and so one user,
hmm
10 users. On the other side, my question is indeed by if doubling prices leads to 1.5 x better results.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
uh, like my question would be if this company, this guy is doing or girl is doing any testing at all.
Mhm.
Is there any test or is something like I'm gonna be generous, I'm gonna put a low price and then I'm gonna do my design and the quality of the app do the rest and have a lot of word of mouth? And I would be curious if he did any or her did any testing and if these are the best results or it's simply unoptimized.
Hmm.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think this is a really great point, and I repeat it, I think, every month in my posts on LinkedIn. That's the biggest mistake of anyone who's making their own products is this thinking when you assume that if you will set up low prices, people will actually buy it and the conversion would be higher than if you will set up higher prices. The practice, the statistics, the industry benchmarks all shows that it doesn't work this way. Cheap price doesn't mean higher conversions and bigger amount of purchases. Cheap price probably means that you're underperforming and making way less money that you could do if you would increase the price. So testing the
Yeah.
price is like 101, is the main thing that you need to focus on when you start with your A/B test. Of course, if you have conversions and actually people reach the paywall. If they don't reach the paywall, then yeah, do the previous job.
Yeah.
But if they do reach the paywall, test the pricing.
Super true. Yeah, I'm building the autopilot product in Adapty, and the idea is really to encourage people to make the experiments more often with the testing, with the visuals, and really on the customer interviews. I usually hear the thing that the users are scared to increase the prices or even change them or even adding a trial just because they are
Oh,
scared to get the like revenue drops or something like that. So I also have this kind of like educational idea to really make people start the experimentation machine because that's the only way you can get the results. But those who started doing that, I see in the data who use the autopilot, they got super great results, like plus 30, plus 50% of their revenue uplift. So that's super cool. But yeah, I totally agree with you, Natalia, over there. So really, everyone needs to do the experimentation and we try to make the process of it, the steps, just in a couple of clicks. So that's the idea for everyone to start doing it as soon as possible and to make it more.
yeah. I think if there would be one idea that the viewers will get out of this webinar is, yeah, the idea of testing the prices, increasing the prices. And yeah, if you were waiting for a sign, this is a sign, go do this. You wouldn't lose revenue, most probably. I almost guarantee you that you will get more revenue. If you
Yeah.
didn't, just send me a message.
That's a native one. Yeah. Uh, Cool. So I think I've enjoyed reviewing this app and actually the two others. So I think really we got pretty good amount of comments regarding the onboarding flow, right? And the paywall also in this app in particular. So maybe we can have a like 4 minutes Q&A session if anyone has any questions. Yeah, and if no, then we just had a very nice talk, I think, with a lot of insights for each other and for the people who are going to listen to this webinar. So thank you so much, guys, for this conversation. It was lovely to see you again and to really have a deep conversation there.
Yeah, thank you for inviting us.
Thank you.
Cool.
I'm excited always to be here with you guys. If you want to reply to some questions, I'm available. If not, see you next time.
Cool. Yeah, I think then we can wrap up. So thank you so much again, Natalia and Alex, and I wish you a great weekend.
You too.
And yeah, let's do the experimentation, do cool paywalls and onboardings, and see you this year.
See you guys. Always a
Awesome.
pleasure.
See you
Bye
guys.
bye.
Thank you
Cheers.
so
Ciao.
Bye.
much.